so much for joining us. I represent Go Campus USA. We review your applications, your personal essays. They're all wonderful. Your application, your grades, we evaluate your GPA, and we look at your transcripts, your English level, and your preferences before determining what schools to put in your scholarship report. And today, we have this great opportunity to have Menlo College joining us for this presentation. Yay, that's Alan Alvarez. He is the international recruiter and events coordinator. He is also bringing a student from Menlo. His name is Basil. And he will be sharing with you his experience at Menlo, as well as with Go Campus. So please feel very free to ask questions. And throughout this whole presentation, you can raise your hand with the symbol in Zoom, or maybe you can just interrupt. That's okay too. Or type your question. Yeah, there you go. There's the little hand. Okay, without further ado, Alan, so yours.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to share my screen so everyone can see my presentation. And as Faye mentioned, hi everyone. Good morning from California. Good afternoon in Europe. Nice meeting you. Again, I'm Alan Alvarez. I'm part of the admissions staff at Menlo College, and I work closely with Go Campus for all those students that are interested in Menlo College and making sure that the application process goes smooth, okay? Before I jump into Menlo College presentation, I'm excited to let everyone know that I actually was an international student at Menlo College. Unfortunately, back at that time, I did not hear about Go Campus, so I had to do everything on my own, and it was crazy. It was not hard, but it was a lot of work, right? Especially when, well, I was not from the US, so I had to do everything on my own, trying to figure out the documents that I needed. But all of you are so lucky to have Go Campus to help you with this process, and they are on top of it. So potentially you will find the application process very easy for all of you. So as I mentioned, I was an international student from Mexico, and I graduated from Menlo in 2018, a couple of years ago, with international management as my degree. And as you can imagine, I loved Menlo so much that after I graduated, I stayed, and now I'm part of the admissions team, and now I get to share my experience to new students and help them with this process. But well, let's jump into the presentation. We're here about Menlo, right? Not about myself. So where is Menlo located? We are located in California, almost all the way to the north. If everyone's familiar where San Francisco is, here is San Francisco on the top and San Jose at the bottom of the Bay Area. And as you can see, we are right in the heart of Silicon Valley. All these companies that most of us we are familiar with, they are just close distance to Menlo. In fact, Facebook headquarters are only 8 minutes away from our campus. We have Apple, Google, YouTube, all these companies that some of our students end up doing internship at, but of course, there's many companies around Menlo College, okay? And just to remind you, as Faye say, if you have any question, please make sure to raise your hand or type it so I can just answer at any time, okay? So I'm here excited to share a couple of pictures so you can be familiar with our campus. The top picture is our cafeteria, and I love sharing with everyone. Usually families, when they come visit our campus and go on a tour, they usually share with me that our campus looks like a country club. So it's very small. There's a lot of peace, tranquility around campus. So it's a really nice place to be around and to study. We are not really a party school. Okay, so for those who are looking where to party and have a lot of fun, well, Menlo College, again, is not really a party school. We're a very small campus. However, you will have a lot of fun. We do have a lot of events every single week that are coordinated by staff, but also by students, okay? Here are some of the pictures of the dorms, so you can see where you would be potentially staying on our campus. And we do have different types of dorms. Usually you can share your room with 1, 2, or even 3 roommates, okay? Those are the options. Obviously, the prices vary. However, with Go Campus, we do have an amazing opportunity. So you have an amazing price if you decide to stay in a triple, okay? Once you start talking with Go Campus, they will go over all that information with each of you. I'm here also sharing just the map of our campus. We're not going to go in detail on it, but I just wanted to share with all of you so you can be familiar how small our campus is. And this is great, especially if you're like me who like to sleep in, you know, so you don't have to run to class because it takes you 5 minutes to go from one corner to the other corner of our campus. So our campus is very, it's very small, but as well, it's a nice and intimate environment where you will be able to interact with majority of your classmates, the majority of the residents. And this is great because you want to go to school not just to obtain your degree, hopefully, right? But you also want to secure potentially a job as well as to expand your network, right? And make connections. You never know, maybe your roommate's gonna be the next CEO of its own company. So that's why you want to develop those connections, right? Here are more pictures of our campus. As you saw already on the map, we don't have that many buildings. We only have 2 different buildings for classrooms. So this is where students take all kinds of subjects. And the main building that you see here, it's usually for upper division classes, those classes that you will be taking on your last 2 years here at Menlo. And as you can see in the lower right side, that's just an example of one of our classrooms. And as you can see, it's not a lecture hall, meaning you will only be attending a classroom with at most 30 students, which is very convenient, and it's a really easy and accessible way for students to learn. Well, here at Menlo College, again, we're only around 800 students, but you will feel, you'll fit in and you will make friends from everywhere. And I'm telling you from my own experience. But I also invited Basil, who is a current student, and I want him to actually go over his experience with all of you, as well as I really want all of you to ask him questions. He's gonna stay with us just for a little. So if you can, just type any questions that you have so he can go over that, okay? So hi, Basil. Thank you for joining us. Can you please just, besides introducing yourself, share a little bit about your experience going with Go Campus, applying through Go Campus, as well as now your experience for being a Menlo student?
Yes, thank you, Alan. I love the presentation. Hi, everybody. So I'm Basil. I'm from Germany. And like Alan already mentioned, I also went to the US with Go Campus, which was like 2 years ago. I'm a sophomore now. Actually, I'm going into my junior year next year. And I was supposed to go to the US with a soccer scholarship. But like for different reasons, it has not been working out the way I wanted it to. And I felt really frustrated with the organization. I'm not going to say their name, but I felt really frustrated with them. And then time kept passing by. I wanted to start a process 1 year before I actually wanted to start Menlo. And then there's like 6-7 months passing by. Nothing is really happening. I'm not finding a college. And then it was already like March or April. And I remember when I in my while I was signing up for the organizations, I somehow signed up for Go Campus, but yeah, didn't follow through with it. And then in April they sent me another email, and they actually sent me the colleges and also the prices. And I looked it up, and I saw I saw Menlo, and I get the email 10 minutes later. I'm on the phone with them, and it's a true story, and I'm telling them, if this is true, like if this is the college, this is the location, this is the majors, and this is the price, like I'm signing up right now. And it was true. And they, yeah, like they said, okay, that sounds great. And I only had 2 months left, so they really helped me to get through the process really quickly. And it was, I mean, I'm not just saying this. For me, Go Campus kind of like saved me. And in this 2 months, I did everything. And then 2 months later, I'm on the call with Alan, actually, who then helped me to like get everything ready. And then in August I joined Menlo. So it was pretty quick, everything in the end. But for me, Go Campus was really smooth. They actually did what they said they were going to do. And while you may think it goes without saying, it doesn't. And yeah, so because I experienced something else before, I really appreciated the way Go Campus operates. And then at Menlo, I wanted to leave my comfort zone. I was like, hey, I'm here in the US, so I might as well get involved. Alan already said that it's really easy because we do have a small campus, small student body. So this makes it super easy to get involved. So I applied to be a freshman class president. And I was a freshman class president during my first year. And then, this is how you get to know everyone in Menlo. It's pretty quick. And then after that, I founded my own club. And I was also able to participate in the UIF program that we have at Menlo that is designed by Stanford University, and it's a design thinking program. So it was super valuable for me. And every kind of major school chooses 4 students to go, and at Menlo you already have better chances, right? Because there's less students, and then you're like in this kind of network with these 4 people from like these big universities, and you're like, wow, that's just crazy, And so I was able to do that too. And then now, after 2 years, kind of like trying out and talking to the soccer coach, I was finally able to also join a soccer team. So I'm able to do a lot of things at Menlo, and it's super cool. And we also have, I think, Alan, you probably know this better than me, but I think we have like around 20% international students. So you can imagine that when you go to dinner, when the dining hall opens again, you're like sitting on a table, and like there's 5 different people, and they're all from 5 different countries. So this is one of the things that I personally love most about Menlo.
Thank you, Basil. Yes, we do have a big population of international students, and that's another thing that I really like being part of Menlo, because as I mentioned earlier, everyone fit in, right? And you make friends, and you don't feel lost somewhere. You have friends from every place, and they're going through the same experience as you. And also, I mean, students who are actually local, students who are from here, from California. California is the state where everyone's so friendly. So everyone's always welcoming you and excited that you're here, that you're joining and sharing your culture with everyone. So it's an amazing place to be. And as Basil said, our campus is so small that everything's so accessible. First of all, thanks to Go Campus, Basil is here with us. And that's amazing, right? Because he was lost, he didn't know what to do. And Go Campus reached out to them for 2 times, and then he was like, okay, let's give it a try. So thank you, Go Campus, because without Go Campus, Basil would have been in a different place, right? So thanks to that. And then, as you mentioned, you're so involved on our campus, and that's always something that I suggest students, especially international students. You're going to be attending a school somewhere else. You want to take, advantage of every resource that you have. And Basil, he was even able to be part of the soccer team, right? So all these opportunities, every institution will offer them to you. I'm not going to lie. Every university is amazing. It's great, but you need to find the right place for you. Okay, so, and that's why these presentations are here for you to hear stories, and maybe you can identify, you can relate, and then you can make your decision, okay, where to attend. Perfect. Well, thank you, Basil, so much. Do we have any questions anyone would like to ask? Basil might not be able to stay the entire presentation. Either way, if anyone,
I have a question for you, Basil. Yeah. So do you work right now at the time?
Yeah, you mean here in Germany or at Menlo?
No, Menlo.
Yes, so I just realized I didn't even mention. So when I got there, I joined the admissions team. So the same team, pretty much same team Alan is on. So I was the tour guide, pretty much giving tours to potential students who were visiting campus. Okay. And then when Menlo hit, like obviously there were no tours anymore, but then Menlo helped me to get another job, and I was a Zoom assistant, so like helping professors with Zoom. So I have been working the entire time since I'm on campus, and I have to say that this is also a huge, or in my opinion, it's the benefit of Menlo being so small that everybody who wants to work, and especially international students, they can work. Like we have a lot of international students working on campus for sure.
Okay, and to follow with that, Alan, can you only work at Menlo, or you can work like places close to Menlo, like I don't know, a coffee shop or a restaurant?
Great questions. Yes, unfortunately at this time, and that's because of immigration rules, international students are only allowed to work on campus up to 20 hours a week. Okay, so students are not allowed, legally, you're not allowed to work off campus. I know it's sad. I went through it and I wish that was not the case, but that's not on Menlo. That's on US immigration. However, as Basil said, every department on campus offers jobs for students. And our campus is so small, and every staff and faculty is aware that international students, working off campus is not an option. International students have the priority of getting a job on campus because we want to help international students and be able, to have a different kind of income, especially when you're here. So as Basil said, we're always looking for students and helping them, getting their job. COVID happened and Basil was not able to help at admissions. So we help him try to find somewhere else on campus. So that's an option. When I was at Menlo, a couple of years ago, I had 3 jobs on campus, but that's pretty common, right? Basil, it's pretty common that students have more than one job.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Question. Let me see. I'm going to mute 2 more. I have 2 people who are talking. I'm just going to mute you just so we don't hear more things, but please raise your hand if you have a question. I'm not trying to mute you if you're not asking a question. So please let me know.
Sorry, Alan, we've got 2 questions in the conversation box. I think both are maybe aimed at Basil, but the first one is, can I ask you what level of English you had to enter the university?
Oh, perfect. Yes, we can answer that. And let me see the other one, just to make sure if Basil can respond to one or the other.
And it's about sports scholarships. Can we apply for sports scholarships?
Okay, well, just before I answer that, any other questions for Basil? And I'm asking because he has a great job, so I don't want to take a lot of his time. Faye? Can you unmute yourself, Faye? Sorry.
Sorry. Hi, Basil. Just wondering, when you're not working, what do you do? Do you go to San Francisco often? I mean, what do you do with your friends outside the campus?
That's a great question, actually. So for fun, we go to San Francisco a lot. Actually, it takes 45 minutes with the train. So just talking about last semester, I remember that once I actually took my girlfriend to a cruise. So like we were on a boat next to the Golden Gate Bridge. So I'm doing the sunset. So that was something that was really special. And then we also go to San Francisco just to hang out there. I love, my favorite activity is probably like going there with the train and renting an e-bike. It's really useful in San Francisco because it goes up and down so much, obviously. And then driving through the Golden Gate Bridge. So that's something I love doing. Besides that, we also go to San Jose sometimes. And actually, we went to a Warriors game a few months back, also in San Francisco. So that was really fun. That's some things I can think of. Let me think. Then also sometimes we go to Stanford. We play golf there sometimes, or even like when there's no COVID, sometimes you can even go to the parties if you wanted to. And yeah, we also in Palo Alto, there's some really nice places. So there's a lot of stuff to do, as you probably already saw on the map, but it is true. So it's just beautiful no matter where you go.
And would you say that even though Menlo campus is small, but it's very green, very, very pretty? I've been there once, and that's how I feel about Menlo campus. It's, even though it's small, Alan kept saying it's very, very small, but it's still a beautiful campus.
And I keep saying it's very small thing in a good way. I love how small it is. Okay, please.
Okay.
Don't think I'm saying it about. I love how small it is. As Basil said, and I mentioned earlier, we're not a party school, but Stanford is 8 minutes away. And when I was a student, I used to go to Stanford for parties. You go to San Francisco State, another university, or San Jose State. There are a lot of universities that you can still have that U.S. college experience that everyone, has seen on movies. Maybe not that crazy, to be honest. It's not that crazy as in the movies, but you can experience that. And what I love the most is you go back to your campus and there's tranquility, you enjoy it. And that's what I like about Menlo. But yeah, Basil, you do a lot of things. It seems like international students still are doing the same things that I used to do when I was there. The beach, I don't know if you also do that. The beach is only 30 minutes away, Half Moon Bay, and it's amazing on the weekends to go there, especially during summer, right? Or in May, April, when it's kind of warm, right? There are concerts, there are restaurants, walking distance to Menlo, malls, everything's so convenient. And again, there's a train who goes from San Jose all the way in the bottom of the bay to San Francisco, and one of the train station is right a block from the entrance of Menlo. So it's so convenient for students to explore the Bay Area. We also have on campus rental cars that you can just rent them through an app. So for those students who don't want to get a car, because you don't have to get a car, and don't want to take the train, or you want to go somewhere else that you might need a car, with the app, you can just rent the car, go to the parking lot at Menlo, take the car and just drive off, and then just bring it back whenever you're done. So it's very convenient, right, Basil?
It really is. And I'm just adding on to the car train. It's like something like $6 to $8 to go to SF. So it's really affordable. Yeah, it's super cool. We do it a lot. We do it a lot twice a month or so.
Perfect. Thank you, Basil. Okay, well, either way, if anyone has more questions or want to connect with a student, feel free to let your Go Campus person know, and then they can direct me, and I can help you answer those questions. We're just here to help you determine if Menlo is the right place for you, okay? So again, thank you, Basil. We're gonna continue. So because I wanna cover all other questions that everyone's asking, okay?
Thanks, Alan. I'm just gonna drop my email in the chat. So if anybody has a question, they can just reach out to me. And I'm really thankful to be here, obviously. And I just want to encourage all of you guys to actually go to the US. It's an amazing experience, even better than you would think. So thanks again, and yeah, have a good one, everybody.
Thank you, Basil. Thank you.
Great. So he's again going to leave the email address. Everyone, feel free. Please take advantage of that and just email Basil if you have any questions, okay? And I just saw a question regarding the bikes. The bikes are so convenient. You can just go, I believe now it's an app as well. Everything in the Bay Area, it's an app. You just get an app on your phone, and then you just create an account, and you're able to get whatever you want, okay? So that's how convenient it is. So regarding scholarships, I remember that scholarships and the English score, I'm going to mention that in a minute. I'm going to go over all those requirements, okay? Thank you for asking that question. Do we have any other questions just before I continue? Summer term as an exchange student. As of now, we do not have a summer term for new students. However, I will keep Go Campus informed. So if that is going to be an option potentially for next summer, you will be the first person to know and potentially visit Menlo College, okay? So thank you for your questions. Let's continue. Is everyone still able to see my presentation? I just changed the slide. or you still see Basil? No?
No,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay, perfect. So going back to the pictures that I showed you about the classroom, here's how small the classrooms are at Menlo and the dynamics that you will be seeing. So usually our classrooms are not really like lecture oriented, okay? It's more hands-on. And as you can see in the picture, this is actually our innovative classroom. And here, most of the classrooms that are held here, it's more less faculty oriented, meaning the faculty will just get there, give the instruction, and it's all about teams. And that's what we want students to develop, right? Those skills that you will need for once you get into a job, you know, it's all about team working. And as you can see, the student to faculty ratio, it's amazing here at Menlo, 17:1. Something that I really want to put emphasis on is please dig into this number and ask when you go in and see more institutions, ask more about this number, because some schools, especially big schools, they will tell you, oh, 14:1, and that sounds amazing. As an example, because I was so amazed, I believe it was Berkeley, they do have a really low student to faculty ratio. However, majority of the faculty are just doing research. They're not even teaching. So that, even though the number is accurate, you know, actually students don't really interact with majority of the faculty. So you just really want to understand this faculty, student to faculty ratio, because you want to know how accessible faculty is and how, you know, because your questions, you're going to have questions throughout your stay at Menlo, your development, you want to understand where to go into career-wise. So you want to take advantage of the resource, okay? And as I mentioned earlier as well, we do have several organizations, several clubs on campus. Basil mentioned he actually opened up one club with his friends. I also did that here at Menlo because we are we focus on business and psychology clubs. We treat them as companies. So we always encourage students to create their own club. And as Basil mentioned, you know, students are always doing that because it gives you some skills, some experience that you can put on your resume that potentially will lead to securing a job, you know, even before graduation. So as we mentioned, we're almost 20% international students here on campus. 35 different nations are represented here at Menlo, and we have students and alumni from 88 countries around the globe, and they're always reaching out to current students, and especially during events, and letting us know the opportunities that the current companies they have, so students could always take advantage of these opportunities. So now let's go over the majors that we offer here at Menlo. So as I already mentioned, we focus in business and psychology. Okay, for psychology, we do have a general program in psychology, but for business, we do have several different majors. For example, we do have accounting, finance, marketing, and management. Under management, students need to choose a concentration. And as you can see them listed, for example, I chose international management. Basil is doing entrepreneurship. So we do have several different concentrations. The highlighted ones, the ones that students usually take here at Menlo are sports management and lately real estate, okay? Real estate, for example, it leads you to the opportunity to later on just take the license. Here in California or every state in the country, you need a license. And here at Menlo, we help you. We created a pathway to help you obtain that license very easily, okay? The newest program that we offer here at Menlo is the business analytics one, okay? That's a new program that we just developed, and it's really great for those students who are interested in understanding data. However, you don't really like that much of heavy math classes. This is a great major to choose from because, again, you will go over data, but more into the business aspect of it. More critical thinking is behind it. What makes our programs great is we do have 2 programs that go along with each major. So for business, all the business majors that I shared, we do have an internship program. This program is mandatory. And I love saying that because most of schools, if not all, they have internship programs. However, students need to apply for them. You need to be selected and then go through a process. Here at Menlo, it's mandatory. If you are majoring in business, any of the majors I mentioned, you will have to do an internship. And as international student, you might, as I just mentioned, you're not really allowed to work off campus. But because this internship is mandatory, is part of your degree, you will be able to take advantage of that and get a job off campus for this internship. This usually takes place during summer between junior and senior year. So it takes place after your second year at Menlo, okay? And it's usually only 15 weeks. Okay, I like to share that so you can have an idea how the internship program works. And thanks to this program, most of international students, they actually get a job offer. Okay, of course, that you will need to give them 110% of your time and your efforts so the companies are willing to, to take you on an offer for later on. In fact, that's what happened to me when I was a Menlo student. I did an internship up in San Francisco. I was coordinating events for corporate companies, and they offered me a job before even graduating. Menlo offered me a job as well, because same as Basil, I was given tours when I was a student. And well, you can imagine which offer I took on, right? Then on the other hand, we also have a thesis program. The thesis program is mandatory for psychology major, okay, for the psychology major. This thesis program starts on your senior year, your last year at Menlo, and it goes for the entire year. So as I mentioned earlier, the psychology program is very general. There's no specialization on it. But on your last year, you will be working on a thesis, and you will be able to choose the specific topic, the specific niche you want to dive into. So let's say you're interested in child development or mental health, then you can do more research regarding that. So by the time you graduate, in your resume, you will be able to share that you have a whole year of research experience that will help you be able to join a master's program or potentially secure a good job, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, the internship is mandatory for business, not for psychology, but you can take advantage of it as well, okay? And in fact, a lot of our students, they end up doing that. And we already do have more than 400 internship partners everywhere. Again, thanks to our alumni network that we have developed. And thanks to these 2 amazing programs that I mentioned, students get hired quickly, okay? In fact, more than 80% of the students, they get a job even before graduating, which is really, really high if you look across the trend in universities. Well, as some people already have asked, Menlo is very affordable, and we do offer amazing scholarship. In fact, if you go through the process with Go Campus, you will have your own amazing scholarship, and Go Campus will go over that with you, okay? So it will be more affordable with you. Regarding, someone asked, I believe, full-time or sports scholarships. Yes, we do. Menlo do offer sports scholarships. However, I'm just an admissions counselor. There's nothing I can help you with sports scholarships. Go Campus cannot help you either. It's all about you and the coach. So if you're interested in being part of the team, you can just email the coaches, and it's all on them. They need to recruit you. It's very demanding, right? You can imagine a lot of people want to be athletes, so it's not to discourage you, but it's not that easy. However, as I mentioned, we do have scholarships as well for students who are not athletes. So you should also take advantage of that, and Go Campus will go over that scholarships that are possible for you to make Menlo affordable. Okay. Any questions that we have now? Do you know?
Yeah, there are a couple of questions. One is there a gym that you can use for free on the campus? And
Yes.
then the second one is, do you have master programs for people who already have an Italian degree?
Oh, great questions. Yes. So let's go over the degrees first. As of now, we do only have undergraduate programs, no master's program. Menlo is developing a clinical psychology master's program. I don't know yet when it's going to be out and able for students to join, but Menlo is starting to look into master's program, okay? But as of now, again, only undergraduate programs. Regarding the gyms, we actually do have 2 gyms on campus. One is designated for athletes, because as you can imagine, they're always training. So so they have their own gym, but we also do have a gym for other students that you can take advantage of. I believe they actually just remodeled it right before COVID. So the facilities are still new. Perfect. So now the requirements, right? Someone asked that earlier. So some of the things that we are requiring students to submit an application. And again, your Go Campus agent will go over that with you just to make sure everything's fine. We require students to send us a personal essay so we can get to know a little bit more about them. We also request a recommendation letter, right? And it can come from a teacher, from a counselor. We also need the transcripts. We want to see how your development has been going for high school or maybe college. And for those students who are or have attended college and have some college credits, we will also request an evaluation of those, because we want to make sure that those credits will transfer to Menlo and potentially you can graduate faster, right? Regarding your English proficiency score, we accept TOEFL. We accept most of English proficiency score. As of now, I actually encourage students to take the Duolingo test because you can take it from home. It's so convenient. Also is more affordable than others. I believe it's only $50. And again, you can take it from home and it's so simple. The scores that you need to take for TOEFL, you need at least a 74. For Duolingo, you need at least 100. And this is for you to be able to join our bachelor's program. If your score is below that, you might be able to join our intensive English program. We do have an intensive English program that is designed specifically for students who want to get a bachelor's degree. This program will prepare you, and as I mentioned, it's an intensive program that will immerse you in English. You will be taking 5 different courses to improve your English, and once you complete the program, you don't need to reapply. You will automatically transition into our bachelor's program, okay? Again, your Go Campus agent will help you with this. And if, let's say, you don't meet the requirements yet, that doesn't mean the door is closed, okay? We can work with you to make sure that there's a plan so you can join us and you can retake the test again. You know, you can practice a little bit more and retake it. We have some students, so for example, the first test, they meet the requirements for the intensive English program. So they're able to come to Menlo, but later on, maybe during summer, they practice a little bit more and they retake the test and now they have a higher score. Then we will let them join the bachelor's program. So we're that flexible, okay? Once you're admitted to Menlo, then there's a document that you will need for immigration purposes. It's called I-20. And for that, we will ask for different documentation, as stated here, the certificate of finance and a bank statement. But again, this is a lot of information. I just wanted to go over so you're a little familiar, but your Go Campus agent will be on top of that. So don't worry about that, okay? And pretty much that is my presentation. That's all I wanted to share about Menlo. I'm just going to go back into some of the pictures so everyone can see the pictures, and then I'm going to answer any questions, okay?
Alan, I have a question. Is it
Yes.
too late now to apply, or students still have the opportunity to apply
Great
for this
question.
fall?
And that's the beauty of going to a small private institution. We don't have deadlines. We can do things on our own way. However, I just want to inform, as an international student, there's other processes that you need to do. You need to apply for a visa, for a student visa. Even though they don't really have deadlines, keep in mind that classes start on August 23rd. Right now, because of COVID, embassies are so packed and might be a challenge for you to get a visa appointment, right? It all depends on your country. It all depends on your local embassy. From Menlo, you can still apply. We will complete the process as soon as possible. But when it comes to the visa process, it might become a challenge, the later that you apply. So Faye, yes, you can still apply. We don't have deadlines, but keep in mind that with the visa process, it might be delayed. And in fact, let's say you're not able to attend Menlo this fall because of the visa, no problem. We can change, we can defer your start time for the spring. So you can still come to Menlo. You will need to wait just a couple of more months, okay, for that.
Thank you.
Well, so now it's time for you to raise your hand if you have any questions. If not, we're going to go over the questions that anyone can type down in the chat. When we'll start the start of the spring session? Okay, perfect. So we do have 2 sessions at Menlo. The fall, which starts, as I mentioned, August 23rd, and then the spring semester. I don't recall the specific date, but it's end of January. I believe it's the 18th, the 22nd, something around those dates, but end of January, okay? And then, do you accept proficiency score for Cambridge University? We do accept most of them. So just send them to your Go Campus agent and we'll take a look at that. Again, we're so flexible, and we don't really want students just to spend more money on tests. So just send that to your Go Campus agent, and we will evaluate that, and hopefully we will accept it. If not, the Duolingo test is a good alternative. Again, it's only $50 and you can take it from home. Can you talk about the food program? Like, how does it work? Where do we eat? Yes, perfect. So actually, the picture that you see on the bottom left, right below the M, that's our cafeteria. Okay, you can see the flags. That's the cafeteria. And here at Menlo College, the meal plan is included in the package of you living on campus. So you do have 3 meals per day. So you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then during the weekend, you only have access to 2 meals, which is brunch and dinner. Okay, so it's a combination of breakfast and lunch, brunch, and then dinner. Usually this is only available, it's available like that because during the weekend, usually students end up going somewhere else. Okay. However, you can still go again and get more food. Also, you will have 100 flesh coins. That's how we call them in your student ID, where you can use them in the Menlo store. So you can buy snacks or drinks, water, soda. You can buy that and have them in your dorm as well. And again, that's part of the room and board. Okay. There's no extra you need to pay for that. Can you stay on campus during the breaks? Yes, you can stay during the breaks, but during summer, you will need to leave, or you will have to pay extra if you want to stay on campus during summer. However, as we mentioned earlier, we do have several jobs on campus, and some of these jobs, they actually need students during summer. And if you end up being able to secure one of those jobs, most of them, they will cover your housing. Actually, when I was at Menlo, I stayed every summer working for admissions, and they pay for my dorm. So I was working, of course, and during summer, because you're not going to class, immigration allows you to work 40 hours during summer. So I was able to do that during summer. Now, Menlo, this is the second year that we actually are offering summer term. Summer term. It's not available for new students. So you cannot really apply and come during summer because we do not have orientation and we want you to have a great experience. But for those students who, you know, are already taking classes during fall, during spring, and they stay here during summer, you can take more classes and potentially graduate earlier. So you can keep that in mind. Let's see another question. If I want to start next summer, when do I send in my scholarship application? Perfect. So you want to start next summer. So as I mentioned, the summer term is not, new students cannot join Menlo during summer. It has to be spring or the fall, okay? So let's say you're planning to come to attend Menlo fall 2022, next year. After this summer, you should start the application. Okay, you just need to apply to Menlo. Well, you need to reach out to Go Campus, and maybe I let Go Campus share more about that process because they will be helping you through that process to make sure that you have all the documents needed. Okay. Do we have to do some tests that we would have done in high school for college, like the ACT? Oh, that's a great question. We actually were one of the first colleges here in California that we do not require a ACT or SAT. So you do not need to take them. However, if you took them, feel free to send them and we will look at them when you apply to Menlo. Lastly, as well as we look at those scores to see if you meet their English requirements. So if you don't want to take the Duolingo or the TOEFL because you already took the SAT, just send them to us. We can look at them. And if your score, your English score is high, we will take it as your English proficiency score. But again, those tests are not required anymore. Have I missed a question? Just making sure. Do we have free tickets for the Warriors? Actually, we do offer a couple throughout the academic year. So, but that's why you need to be very involved on campus. So you are aware when they're, you know, giving those away. We do have an amazing association or club on campus. I was actually the photographer for this club. It's called Menlo Adventures, and they plan events outside of Menlo. So you will go, and it was every other weekend. They have events and they will go to Yosemite. So if anyone's familiar with that, it's an amazing national park, like 6 hours away, humongous trees. And we went there for a weekend. We stayed there, we camped there, and it was amazing. And everything's free. I remember one time they went skydiving. I was too afraid, but I heard that it was fun. And again, Menlo pays for that. We went to San Francisco to show people how to take pictures at night. So night photography. We go to the beach, to the aquarium. They do have plenty of events. They always go to sports game, the Giants. I'm not really a sport person, so I'm not that familiar. Hopefully I'm not saying anything wrong. But yes, all these events are for free. You just need to sign up on time because as you can imagine, those are the most demanded events on off campus. So yes. What is the annual basic fee without scholarship? I mean, wow. Okay, yes, let me tell you that. Please don't be scared because the price tag, no one pays the price tag, right, Faye? No one does that. But yes, tuition at Menlo, it's around $46,000 a year, okay? You might be looking at other colleges and you'll be like, oh my God, that's very high. Please keep in mind, we're in California. Obviously, sunny California, it's a little more expensive than any other state, so please keep that in mind. But as we mentioned, Go Campus have their own specific scholarship. You won't be paying anything close to that number. So
and
reach out to
we
Go
have the
Campus.
highest we have the highest scholarship being offered of any representatives out there. So yeah, with Go Campus,
Yeah, and that's because
that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, the only way to do it, and thanks to the partnership that we have already for several years with Go Campus, so we're excited to help students be part of our amazing community, okay? Not sure if I missed this, but what are some clubs you have? Yeah, so as I mentioned, Menlo Adventures, the one that they plan events off campus for Yosemite, camping, San Francisco, that's one of the clubs. But we also have inclusivity clubs. We do have the Latino club, we do have the European club, the chess club, any kind of club that you can imagine, the fashion club. And it's hard for me to tell you specifics because every year students need to renew their club contract. So every year they change, you know, we have new ones, or some clubs end up not being renewed, especially for those students who graduated, right? So things like that, but as well, you can start your own club at any time. We do have one of the biggest clubs on campus is the Hawaiian Club, and that's because we do have a big population of Hawaiians on campus, and it's amazing because they always have this luau's on campus. So if anyone has been to Hawaii, a luau, it's an amazing Hawaiian celebration. There's a lot of dances, and it's really, really fun. With the scholarship, how much would I pay more or less? So approximately how much students are paying, Faye, to attend Menlo?
Well, let's put it this way. It's more than 50% scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So there are other costs involved. There's tuition, there's room and board, but it's no more than 21,000, I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking. Around there. So it's absolutely a great deal. Absolutely.
Thank you, Faye. Again, I really encourage you, and Faye will agree, talk with your Go Campus agent, because also each student is different. Not that the scholarship will be different, but you might be interested in a dorm, in a room for yourself, or you might be interested to share with one roommate or maybe two. So those prices will be different depending on what you're interested in, okay? But yeah, that's a great questions. What sports do you propose at Menlo? I'm not really a sport person, but we do have the typical sports available. We have soccer, we have volleyball, baseball, basketball. We do have cross country, if that's the name, right? Cross country. Track.
Cross country, yeah.
Cross country, yes. So we do have
That's
all these teams for males and females as well. And by the way, we also have clubs with this theme. So besides our sports team, we also have soccer club. So for those students who don't really want to be an athlete because it's time consuming, so it's commitment there, but you like playing soccer, we do have soccer club, we do have volleyball, and sometimes these clubs also compete, okay? But they're just not a varsity team. Is it possible to integrate a sport team? Yes, you will be able to join a team. You need to be recruited for it though. So I'm gonna be honest, it's not that easy, but we have students, I had several friends who would go to the tryouts and have been selected, okay? Is there a tennis team? We do not have a tennis varsity team, but we do have a tennis club that you will be able to join. Great question. And to join a team for training. Training, you mean as in weights? Just want to make sure that I answer your question. But
I think it's whatever sports. I think it's whatever sports this person is interested in, just to be part of it.
Just to join them? I believe you will. It's not like anyone can just come and join training, right? But I have several friends who, well, keep in mind, almost half of the population at Menlo, the student population, are athletes. So you will make friends who are athletes, and they will always invite you to join their trainings if you're interested in that. And I've seen a lot of people joining them. It's not like out for everyone to join in, because obviously it's just a team. But yes, I've heard students just joining them for training, practicing with them as well. But obviously, keep in mind, if you're not part of the team, it could not be something regular. And then just because I mentioned about weights, we also have a club for that. I believe we have a team as well that are competing. We have rowing. So for those who like rowing, we also have that. And we do have an esports team as well. So for those gamers out there, that could be also an option. Well, I'm going.
Alan, can you talk very quickly about the COVID and vaccination?
I'm going to close. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see everyone's faces for those who are sharing. So I like to see who I'm talking with. Yeah. So about COVID. So as I love sharing again and again, Menlo is so flexible, and that's the beauty about going to a small school, right? We're so flexible, and we are able to personalize and make things a little more different and accommodate each student. So for COVID protocol, we are planning to offer classes in person starting this fall. For that, we are requiring students to be fully vaccinated prior their arrival on campus. However, for international students, we understand that getting the vaccine might be a challenge, right? So we are more flexible with this specific student population. So if you're not able to get vaccinated, you will be able to arrive to Menlo, and you will have to follow the guidelines that we have, meaning you will need to be tested upon arrival. There's going to be quarantine available for you, but also we're going to provide vaccination. We're going to help you get vaccinated here. For those students who are, and by the way, we are, as of now, we're only accepting vaccine that have been approved by the FDA. But we understand that other countries might be accepting different vaccines. So for example, here in the US, the AstraZeneca is not accepted. However, we are doing some research to look into what alternatives we can do, or allowing students to come with that vaccine. For those students, again, who are not able to get the vaccine before arriving to Menlo, we do have a plan for you to be able to get it here in the US. Okay, as of now, I'm not gonna go in full detail because, you know, things change every week. So I just wanna give a general idea of what is happening for the fall. But as of now, keep in mind that the vaccines here in America are free, right? So hopefully it will stay like that for the beginning of the fall. So as of now, the FDA have only approved Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. Okay. We do have some students who have received different vaccines, and we are allowing them, we are accepting them. But as of now, just because the FDA has approved those are the ones that we accept them. Anyone has a specific question? Again, I'm going to be very general. Things are changing with COVID. Luckily, at least here in the US, the pandemic is slowing down. So things are getting positive or better. So knock on wood, things are going to stay like that, and actually things will change for better.
Yes, I agree with Alan. We are heading towards 70% vaccination rate of the entire population of the United States. And in California, well, everywhere, we have done an amazing job in getting everybody vaccinated and get the vaccination available to people all around the US. And I think you probably have heard, you know, with different media outlets, how well we are doing. So many of you have been cooped up for a whole year, and a little more perhaps, where stores are closed, and just the daily life has been completely abruptly stopped. And come to California and you will see and you will feel that life is pretty much normal. This is, I mean, Alan, do you feel that way? It's pretty much coming back, dining, going to places, going to stores. I know in Europe it's just beginning to open up, but I think if you feel that you have had enough of it and it's time to move on, it's time to really do something instead of continuing to be in this sluggish state of living, then I think you should really apply and not wait any longer. It's only June 7th, not even mid-June yet. We have plenty of time to process your application so that you can come here by fall and begin your incredible experience.
Yes, no, definitely. As you mentioned, Faye, I encourage as well students, just apply, complete the process. If by the time classes start, you don't feel comfortable yet, or any other circumstances are not letting you be here on campus, we can change your start term for the spring semester, and you don't need to reapply. But as Faye mentioned, yes, it's been already 2 weekends that things are getting back to normal here in California, and that's exciting. A lot of people are getting vaccinated, and things are opening up again. People are already interacting with more people, and still the contagious rate keeps going down. So vaccines are really helping getting things back to normal. But yeah, so that was the presentation. I love that everyone was asking questions. I love when the groups, are so involved, because that's what I'm here for, to answer any questions. And then again, just reach out to your Go Campus agent to help you with that process and help you with the next steps. That will be wonderful to see you this fall or maybe this spring, to all of you.
Thank you so much, Alan. And thanks to everybody's participation for taking the time. And I see some of you still have questions. So reach out to your local Go Campus representative. They are ready and will be more than happy to help you and answer all your questions, whether you want to come for this fall or next spring or next fall. So just feel free to contact us, and don't wait. Okay, so I guess that's it. I hope to see all of your applications very soon. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.